Glock is a name no one in the firearms world ignores. And now Glock's about to drop something new, and not just another incremental tweak, but a handgun that's generating serious buzz before it's even officially announced. We're talking about the Glock Generation 6, Gen 6. Why is everyone already excited about it? What makes the Gen 6 such a big deal? Today we'll explore everything we know about this upcoming pistol and why it's making waves across gun forums and the industry even ahead of its release. So what exactly is the Glock Gen 6 and why is it the hot topic these days? In short, Glock appears to be planning some major upgrades with the Gen 6. Changes that go beyond the minor updates we saw in past generations. Glock hasn't officially unveiled the Gen 6 yet, but patents and leaks have given us a pretty solid picture of what to expect. And it's more than just new slide serrations or a different finish this time. In fact, many are calling the Gen 6 a true reinvention of the Glock pistol rather than a simple upgrade. To appreciate why the Gen 6 is causing such a stir, let's quickly recap how Glock's generations have evolved. Gen 3 introduced an accessory rail on the frame and those finger grooves on the grip, bringing a new level of customization and control to the Glock platform. Gen 4 added interchangeable backstraps so shooters could adjust grip size, and a dual recoil spring assembly, which helped reduce felt recoil and improve reliability for high round count shooting. Gen 5 refined things further with a smoother trigger and internal parts. The Glock Marksman barrel for improved accuracy, no more finger grooves on the grip, and ambidextrous slide-stop levers for left-handed users. One of the most talked about changes is a modular fire control unit, FCU, and frame system. Ever handled a 6-hour P320 pistol? If so, you know that in the P320 the serialized part isn't the grip frame, it's a self-contained fire control unit. The chassis that holds the trigger, striker, and other internals. You can drop that unit into any compatible grip module. Well, Glock seems to be heading down a similar road for the Gen 6. According to newly discovered Glock patents, the Gen 6 will use a half-frame modular system. In simple terms, the pistol will consist of a serialized upper chassis containing the rails, trigger mechanism, and other core components, and a swappable grip shell, the lower portion of the frame that includes the grip and magazine well. That is not serialized and can be easily swapped out. What does this mean for you? It means modularity. You could have one Glock Gen 6 and swap between different grip frames to suit your needs. Heading to the range and want the stability of a full-size grip? Snap the chassis into a full-size grip module. Need more concealment for daily carry? Swap in a compact grip shell. All while using the same trigger group and slides so the feel of the trigger and the slide's zero if you have an optic remains consistent. This is a big deal. No need to buy multiple guns in different sizes when one pistol can transform to fit roles from duty gun to concealed carry. Another benefit is maintenance and customization. Because the grip module isn't serialized, it's not legally the firearm. You'll likely be able to buy different colored or sized grip frames easily without paperwork. If you want a different color frame or one with a built-in beaver tail, just swap it. If your grip gets damaged or if you want to upgrade to an aftermarket grip module, you won't have to send your entire pistol to a Smith or FFL. You can just switch out the frame at home. Flexibility Glock users have never officially had before. No trigger pull takedown system. If you've ever field stripped a Glock or watched someone do it, you know the drill. Drop the magazine, rack the slide to clear the chamber, then, unlike many other pistols, you have to pull the trigger to release the slide for takedown. This has always been a point of contention and a potential safety issue if someone neglects to clear the weapon properly. Negligent discharges have happened because of this. The Gen 6 is poised to finally fix that. Glock Gen 6 will allow field stripping without pulling the trigger. How? It uses a new spring-loaded internal locking lever in the mechanism that automatically disconnects the striker from the trigger when you begin the takedown procedure. In plain English, when you go to take the slide off, this mechanism will safely deactivate the firing system before the slide comes off, so you won't have to press the trigger to disassemble the gun. This is a huge improvement in terms of safety and peace of mind. Of course, the golden rule remains. Always clear your firearm before cleaning or maintenance. That said, with Gen 6's design, even if a round were somehow left in the chamber by mistake, you wouldn't be forced to pull the trigger as part of disassembly. That greatly reduces the risk of an accidental shot when someone is field stripping the gun. For new shooters or anyone a bit nervous about that old Glock takedown quirk, this is very welcome news. Drop-in trigger module. Glock pistols are renowned for many things, but a crisp trigger isn't usually at the top of that list. In previous generations, if you wanted a better trigger pull, you often had to swap out parts or polish components, or have a gunsmith install an aftermarket trigger. The Glock Gen 6 is expected to change that with an all-new drop-in trigger module design. Instead of the trigger mechanism being a collection of small parts pinned individually into the frame, the Gen 6 is rumored to use a self-contained trigger unit, similar concept to an AR-15 drop-in trigger pack. This module would include the trigger, connector, springs, and so on, all pre-assembled in a single housing that drops into the chassis and locks in place with a pin. What's the advantage? For one, it makes trigger upgrades or replacements incredibly easy. If you want to change the trigger, you don't need a box of gunsmithing tools or an armorer's course. You can simply put in a new module. This means swapping to an upgraded trigger could be as simple as one pin punch. It also suggests Glock might offer different factory trigger module options. Imagine buying a Glock Gen 6 and having the choice of a standard trigger or a factory performance trigger module with a lighter pull or flatter trigger shoe right out of the box. Improved grip ergonomics, angle, and texture. Glock's grip angle has been a talking point for decades. Some shooters find the Glock's grip angle around 22 degrees makes the pistol point a bit high compared to, say, a 1911 or SIG, which have a shallower angle. If you've ever picked up a Glock and thought the aim felt off or you had to tilt your wrist differently, you're not alone. The good news is the Gen 6 might address this. According to industry buzz, Glock has tweaked the grip angle for Gen 6 to give shooters a more natural point of aim. This means the pistol should align with your line of sight more instinctively, potentially making it quicker to get on target for those who've never quite gelled with the older Glock angle. Along with the angle, grip texture and shape are also rumored to see improvements. Ever felt your Glock 5th Gen was a bit slippery with sweaty hands, or you didn't like adding stick-on grip tape? Glock seems to have heard these complaints. Leaked details hinted a newly designed grip texture on the Gen 6 that provides a more secure yet comfortable hold. The texture might be more aggressive in key areas to prevent slipping, without being sandpapery enough to chafe during long-range sessions. Other rumored upgrades and features. Beyond the headline features above, there are a few additional enhancements that have been floating around in rumors and leaks. While these haven't been officially confirmed, they're worth mentioning as possibilities for the Gen 6. Enhanced magazine well. Some leaked images and reports suggest the Gen 6 frame may have a more flared magazine well. A slightly wider flared magwell helps funnel magazines in during reloads. That means faster, easier reloads. A small change competitive shooters and tactical users will certainly appreciate. Glock introduced a minor magwell flare in Gen 5 pistols. Gen 6 might enlarge this further for even quicker mag changes. Refined barrel and recoil system. Glock's Gen 5 marksman barrel improved accuracy with a revised rifling and crown. For Gen 6, there's whispers that Glock has further tweaked the barrel and recoil spring system to reduce muzzle flip and increase longevity. The new barrel design could potentially offer even tighter groups downrange. We don't have specifics yet, but any improvement here is icing on the cake for target shooters. New slide finishes and colors, while not as critical as functional changes, many Glock enthusiasts love custom finishes. Rumor has it Glock might offer the Gen 6 in new factory finish options or colors, perhaps a tougher corrosion-resistant coating, or even different frame colors out of the box. Imagine flat dark earth or OD green factory frames without having to Cerakote. A fresh look can attract buyers who want something beyond the classic Glock black. With all this excitement, the burning question's this: when will we actually see the Glock Gen 6? As of now, the expectation is that Glock Gen 6 will release to the public in late 2025, or if not, by early 26 at the latest. It wouldn't be surprising if Glock unveils the gun late in the year, Q4 25, with limited quantities, and the pistol's widely available in 26. Some enthusiasts are even speculating that SHOT Show 2026 could be when Glock officially launches it if they don't do so earlier. With so many new features and improvements, many are wondering, how much will the Glock Gen 6 cost? While Glock hasn't announced pricing since the gun itself isn't officially announced yet, there have been some leaked reports and educated guesses. Here's the rumored breakdown. We have the standard Glock Gen 6. The expected price for a base Gen 6 is around $649 US. That's only a modest increase over Gen 5 models, which is reasonable given that added tech and features. Modular grip version, it's expected to come at a premium for that versatility, rumored around $749. That extra $100 might include an additional grip module in the box or just reflect the engineering cost of the modular system. Gen 6 Pro or Performance model, the speculated price for this top-tier model is around $899. That would place it in a higher bracket than we're used to seeing for Glock, edging into premium handgun territory. Are you excited to try out the Glock Gen 6?